once you've solved the problem, how easy is that problem to just wash, rinse, and repeat? And then we just need to be able to collectively validate that it's achieving the desired result.
Pretty well aware of my expectation levels with how many putts I should be making about percentage-wise from certain distances. Like I know 8 feet's about a 50-50 coin flip. Like it's not like I'm supposed to be making all those, and I just feel like I'm not quite making as many putts as I should be. I mean, obviously I'm also not really practicing as much as I should be as well. So also given a little grain of salt there, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something that I'm not quite sure. I have a few hunches on what it is, but I want to just kind of see what you think.
Sure. If you pull apart putting into its component skills of start line, of speed control and green reading, could you grade yourself in each of those categories?
I mean, I think start line, I'm pretty much about as good as it gets. Like I have this little Dave Pell's putting tutor thing that I've been using for years, and I still do like some maintenance work on that here and there, but I don't know, I feel like I'm generally pretty good at doing that. Speed-wise, I don't know, let's just say probably B or maybe C+.
With which tendency showing up, or is it a combination of both? I hit them too hard and I hit them too soft?
It's probably too soft, if anything. Read, I feel like I'm okay. I mean, maybe not great, probably like a B there as well.
No tendencies stand out on right to lefters versus left to righters? How often would you hit a putt and be surprised it actually went in the opposite direction than what you thought?
That does happen. I feel like
how often though, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's everyone.
It might happen because sometimes it's challenging.
Right, I don't know about right to left, left to right. I think that I've noticed that I tend to hit my left to right slightly too high, my right to left is too low, but I wasn't able to quite figure out if that was because of my reads or if that's because of my stroke.
Last couple of questions before we start to unpack each of the skills and let me do my stuff. When you use your putting tutor, which you've been using for a long time, if ever you launch it offline, which ball bearing do you?
Lately it's been, or last like about a year, half a year, it's been the right ball, so I'm like slightly pushing it.
Yeah, got it. And then when that happens, how consistent do you keep doing that? Meaning if you hit the right ball once, it's like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna get 5 out of 10 where I might hit the right ball.
Oh, no, it's, I mean, at worst probably like 8 out of 10 or so.
And what's your solution? What do you do?
I feel a little bit more of I guess a rotation in my left hand or both my hands, I guess. Just kind of releasing the putter just a little bit more.
So face closure. Tell me about practice. Like, what is our available time to the extent that there is one or a combination of things that we can give attention to? How much available time do you have to work at it?
I tend to go do my putting first whenever I go practice. So if there's stuff I want to work on, I tend to do the first thing I do at practice the most. So that's kind of why I do that way.
Cool, love it. All right.
I think aiming wise as well, just to kind of go back to that, I feel like aiming wise, I'm not quite sure on what I would grade myself, because obviously I can't really tell where I'm aiming on the golf course unless there's someone right behind me, which you can't do.
Do you use a line on the ball?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but like when I do, it's only on the putts that are like pretty straight.
From what distance?
I won't do it within 3-4 feet, but outside of that, if it's pretty straight, meaning like inside the hole or like let's just say a cup outside or so, I'll use one.
Okay. We're gonna roll several in here, and several could be 4, it could be 10. But we're just gonna keep on rolling them as I run my diagnostics. When you use a line, is that how you see your ball rolling? Do you ever see the ball rolling?
I do, usually I do. Sometimes when I'm not putting so well, it is kind of waffling.
How aware are you of whether you're striking in the center of the face?
I'd say pretty aware. I think some of these I feel like a little toey.
That last one was toey.
I think it's user error. I'm doing something.
Yeah, taking ownership of the error is a pretty important thing, but the assumption that the error is coming from the player, right? Okay, you know how to use this.
Yep.
If you've had a putting tutor for a long time, then yours might even be the old clear one. I've got one of those as well, but nonetheless, go ahead and aim that.
There she is.
It's a different miss than you described experiencing. That's
Yeah.
left ball bearing.
Yeah.
Any adjustment in stroke field there?
Just a little less with the rotation of the hand slightly. Cool.
Let me grab that putter. So I made some observations.
Okay.
I'm not too sure how those observations might play out in the real world. So we're going to go out into the real world now. Start with the 6-footers, then move to the 8-footers.
Okay.
I want you to hit these putts like they mean something.
Okay.
Like the last 4 putts you've hit to always have a golf run.
Okay.
And you have the lead, by the way.
Sometimes my stroke just kind of starts out this way a little bit.
So you were aware of a shift in your path relative to what you intended to do. Yeah, we're about 2 steps away from unpacking. Here's where things are at, and then here's the path forward for you to, for the amount of work that you put in, get an even better result because you're already very good at what you do. So I'm going to give you 1 mark goes right behind the golf ball, just like it ordinarily would. These 2 marks, you're going to create the picture of the arc shape, and then you're going to put that gate, I'm going to say in the last third of the putt, so somewhere in this range. That gate describes the channel that that ball is going to be rolling through, okay? And then there's going to be another mark that I'm going to place 1, 2 feet behind the hole. Okay, now we're going to score your performance here. The game's called 3-point. The first point that you can earn is a point when you roll it through your gates. The second point you earn is a point that's speed-based. Does it get past the front edge of the hole, but no further past than that mark that's 2 feet. And then the third point is the outcome of the putt, meaning did I make it or not. So perfect putt, I roll it through my gates with good speed, it goes in the hole, that's 3 points. Yeah, we're gonna hit 5 putts here. So you scored 1 point there. Three points, total of 4, carry on.
That hole might have slightly saved me.
You think it was traveling a little fast?
A little fair.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Zero points, total of 4 through 3 balls. Yeah, one of the tests that I'm asking for a player of your caliber to pass is once you've solved the problem, how easy is that problem to just wash, rinse, and repeat, right? One point, total of 5, last ball. Grab that ball marker, I'll grab the gate here. Total of 6. Let's talk about what a good score is. A good score is 10 or above. And again, same drill. It's a good way to evaluate yourself. If you can read the kind of tea leaves, read the feedback that the drill's giving you, it kind of gives you an understanding of what you should or shouldn't adjust to get a better outcome. 3 points. Nice job. Nice putt. Total of 7 so far. How about you do this for me? You're doing well, but I want 1, maybe the next 2 putts using the line of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, nice roll. Carried a little bit too much speed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 8 points total. Put a nice roll on this one, you'll get your 10 point. Who's it? If I was being nice, I'd give you 2 there, but I'm going to give you 1 because I'm not very nice. Okay, there's one more thing that we have to do, and it's evaluation on touch. Okay, 15 feet down the hill. Strictly speed. Now, clearly, we're putting to a cup, but what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 at 15 feet, then 1 at 18, 1 at 21, and so forth. If I ask you to hit the same putt, and the only change in this putt is I'm adding a yard of distance each time, what adjustment do you make? So that's really the information that I'm looking for. If we were scoring it, any putt that's made with what you know to be good speed, you count that as a birdie. Any putt that's outside the area along, it's called the safety zone, is a bogey. Any putt in the safety zone is a par.
Jabby.
Nice adjustment. Nice job. Yeah. What's good about that, not the error, is you knew it immediately.
Yeah.
Nice job. Cool. All right, let's go back inside. We're going to talk about what it is that I see and then get to how we can make what is good even better than good.
Okay.
Relate back to me what you observed outside when we went to that 15-foot three-point drill. Was there any tendency for your ball to roll more left or more right than what you wanted? Because those are the things that I need you to start picking up on, because I'm picking up on them, and those are the things that tell me something about the stroke, that then I'm bouncing what I see up there, tendencies, trends, with what we measured in here.
Right.
And there is congruence or correlation.
Yeah.
What I'm about to show you here showed up out there,
Okay.
and it is the reason why you hit the left ball bearing. It is the reason why your ball's not rolling in a verendusum spiral launch to it.
Right.
And it's the opportunity that you have to ensure that rather than 8 out of 10 times the ball's rolling where you intend, how you intend it, but 10 out of 10 times. Now, with any change, there's this period of adaptation that a player must go through. The more talented players that I've been around can always make that adaptation quicker rather than slower. When you missed today, it was only launching left of where you wanted it to. The 2 6-footers, the first one, you aimed further right than I think you actually needed to, and you pulled it in the hole.
Okay.
The next 6-footer, tight, aimed where you needed it to, launched where you aimed.
Okay.
The 8-footer, down the hill, where you're like, oh, the hole caught it.
Yeah.
You know, you did well there.
Okay.
The next 8-footer up the hill, you missed it on the left.
Yeah.
You pulled it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we went to our 3-point exercise, and anytime you missed your gate, it was left, and here's why. Take a look at the TV screen on the left first. So this is essentially what your putter's doing at or during the stroke. And when I say at impact or during the stroke, this is faced impact 9/10 close.
Basically a degree.
Yeah, and so what is a degree? A degree at 11 feet is the edge of the hole. Right. And so why were these balls going in? Well, there's been millions of putts hit in this room, and what you don't see is a little trough there. Yeah, there's little cracks. Which is actually a good thing, because if you missed one of them left, I don't think we'd see the authentic pattern over and over and over and over. So I'm okay that there's this trough that's developed
That
here.
probably would have made an adjustment.
You would have made an adjustment immediately.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and that wouldn't have been authentic to create the complete picture.
I agree with you.
But your face isn't left because you're over-rotating it. In fact, your face relative to the path is 3 degrees open, right? And if you hit a full iron shot, you know that a 3-degree open face to path does what to the golf ball? Fades. Yeah. So that's why your ball's not rolling into veranda.
Okay.
And so if the face is left at impact relative to the target, but it's 3 degrees open relative to the path, that must mean the path is 4 degrees left.
I was going to say, what's the path? There we go.
Path 3.8 left.
Let's see.
And here, any one of these strokes, this is the backswing on the right-hand side of this little box here. That's the backswing.
Yep.
You can actually see it going out, can't you?
Yeah.
And then on some, it actually goes further out. Like there's a little bit of a out over the top move. Right. So where does that come from? We'll go to the video now. So let's just confirm at the club head level. there's some level of left path that we can see.
I've noticed that for quite a while as well. My through path is more tuggy.
And now it drives the path. Your shoulders are rotating and you're creating, and we're talking about such small amounts in a putting stroke where the handle's traveling maybe 5 inches.
Right.
You're creating shoulder flexion. So as your shoulders rotate, your arms lift away, takes the putter outside, and then from there, you've got to get out of that in some way, don't you? But you don't, and so therefore you just swing it left from there. So what we have to have is we have to have some way to create a sense that your biceps, triceps, your upper arm follows your rib cage. So towel, sleeve underneath your trail arm, or at least that's the first play that I would call. So if we create a theory, the working theory is if we create a better connection between what we're trying to do properly with our chest and what we're trying to do with our arms, then we solve the path problem. And my theory is that the path problem creates the face problem.
Right.
Since your path is swinging 4 degrees left, which from a directional standpoint, if half the cup is 1 degree, then we got another half cup, we got another half cup, we got another half cup. Right, that's the magnitude of the error that you create from a path standpoint, and your brain athletically is figuring out, well, I better not release the face, because if I release the face at all, it's going to go left.
I see. So
Now let's test it. Yeah, fire away.
just to confirm we're on the same page, so the thing you were talking about, the shoulder flexion, you're talking about the backstroke or the
Yeah,
fall
in the backstroke. In the backstroke.
So we're not changing anything in the fall stroke?
No, not yet.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Yeah. I push the first domino over
Okay.
and see if the second.
So you're trying to
get full.
So you're basically trying to tilt this entire line.
Keep talking. Yes, you're right.
So entire line kind of more this way, so that the backstroke is more arced inward.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to take this arc shape
Yeah,
and tilt it,
I see.
and we're going to tilt it through this shoulder field.
Gotcha.
And then the working theory is you're going to figure out how to square up the face to path. And the working theory is because of that, you probably solve some level of toe contact, probably. You'll certainly start to see the ball roll end over end. And you may even be able to do more of what your typical solution to offline putts is, which is, oh, I just release the face a little bit more.
So I'm going to assume that I'm going to feel like I'm arcing it much more and turning the face over.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. You ready to try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let me borrow the putter because we're going to measure this.
Okay.
Here's the piece that I want you to cue in on. That this upper arm stays on the rib cage and follows the rotation. If done correctly, yeah, exactly. That should happen. And it should happen some amount.
Right.
And if that was more, that would actually be a better thing short term than less. Go for it. Yeah, you just did it. Yeah, you just did it. Take a look at the ball roll. So immediately we got a path that shifted from 3.8 to 1.7. Immediately we have a path that shifted, sorry, a face to path that shifted from, what was it?
1 degree. No, 2 point something.
2.8 open, I think,
Yeah.
to now only 1 degree open.
I see.
Right. I trust in technology, but only so much.
Yeah.
That was such a good roll there, and what I saw with my naked eye didn't suggest that it was 1.7 left.
Okay.
It was as good a stroke that you've made yet today, and it was so good that I call it a 0-0-0-0.
Yeah.
Right? Path direction was doing exactly what we want to, and then the ball roll would tell you about the face to path.
Right. Well,
And immediately wanted to
stick out
move
this way.
outside, and that's what causes that?
Whole
Shoulder flexion. Yeah,
flexion.
your hands moving away from the top of your pants
Yeah.
rather than underneath your shoulders. Better.
I think I quite closed the face, I think.
We have 1.9 degrees left to path, and then we have 2.1 degrees open face to path.
It's always a little bit of both, right? So it's not, you can't just fix one or the other. It's got to.
Yeah, but again, the working theory of a person of your ability and experience is that if you change one thing, knock that domino over, others will naturally have to change, and just do that intuitively. But if we're having a absolute conversation, yes, we're changing two things.
Right.
Yep. We're changing the way you start the stroke to affect a different impact path, and we have to therefore change the way you square the club face up.
Yes.
Super job. Quality roll pretty good, yeah?
Pretty good. Okay, so I'm not clearly not doing enough.
You're doing it some amount, yes. Is it enough yet? Not quite.
Okay. Shoulders open in impact or set up or no?
Slightly.
Okay.
Lovely job. Healed at that time. 0-0,
Closed.
1.1 closed.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I
instruction. Move the club away from this block, the wall on the outside, and avoid that block on the forward swing. Still cueing from that shoulder to upper arm move.
Good.
Face release. Yeah. See path direction tight, face to path, 4/10 open. Three tenths, 1/10. The way you'll know that you're doing this really well, actually you won't need any level of sand pot feedback. It just needs a worm cam with a reference, whether that's a chalk line's super effective, and a line on your golf ball. Because the line on the golf ball tells you what?
It's your feedback.
The quality of face to path, and your worm cam tells you what that path direction is. So, do we see evidence on this worm cam view that path direction was 2/10?
I do think it was like literally the frame before the ball. Like the line might barely start moving left.
So net real close, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Real close. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to be able to answer the question, oh yeah, that's real close.
Right.
Because if I showed you one of the early ones, in fact, let me do that right now from indoors. The same question of how close that putter is moving to our target line, you couldn't answer.
Yeah.
There's the outside.
Oh yeah.
Dead left.
I mean, for sure before the ball, like way before the ball.
Way before the ball.
Yeah.
Nice job. So, the range of tolerance in measurement here, I'd give you 5/10 if I'm being like really particular. I'd give you all the way to a degree of path relative to target.
I'm sorry, hold on, you lost me.
You can't be swinging 4 degrees left.
Right.
You can't be.
Right.
Otherwise, the face to path has to be uber open in order to launch it where you want to launch it.
Yes.
You can be 1 degree left. You can be 1 degree right. Okay, so there's our corridor of movement.
Yeah.
Here, I want it super tight, but in order for this to be super tight, this needs to be super tight, which is why I then say, okay, we can get it within a degree. Now let's get it within half a degree. Because if it's within a half a degree, then this face to path can be super tight, and face to target can be super tight, right? Because I'm looking for face to target to be well inside 5/10 of a degree, like 2/10.
I'm almost fixing this almost entirely just by basically dropping my right shoulder back.
And then rest.
Yeah, and just kind of like already like kind of tug the putter back inwards.
With the handle. You're not trying to get out of elbow bend to do this.
I'm more so just like
and you're
tugging it
certainly
back.
not getting out of wrist bend, right? You're not creating ulnar deviation, nor straightening your arm to bring it in and around. If you did, the club would be touching the ground.
Right.
Yeah. So you're doing it the right way. A lot of the small amount that we're moving this, like I can create this concept of here's how it needs to feel, but that's my feel, right? That's not fair to you or the player. It needs to be your feeling, and then we just need to be able to collectively, you and I together, validate that it's achieving the desired result. Yeah, nice. Overdid the face path.
I was just gonna say.
So that would be the first pull.
I tried to overdo it a little bit because it's almost a little bit like chicken or the egg kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that if there's an overarching philosophy in how I view things, the face is king and the path is queen. What the face does drives the opportunity to move the path, even though we went the opposite direction, didn't we? We went the opposite direction because if you added only face closure to what you were doing, you would get more pulls. So, questions?
I feel like this should have some trickle down effect for just overall in terms of aiming, right?
Yeah. Now you have
Less to adjust for.
when you have path moving one way, face to path open or closed to it, you're launching the ball somewhere other than probably where you're seeing, so you're building in some accommodation. But I'd say any practice that you do for the first 10-15 minutes needs to be home-based while practice consolidating or confirming that you're able to achieve this with some level of soft-ish swing feel or swing thought before you start worrying about, okay, now can I start using the line when I'm in the wild, random putting. But yeah, you're right. Which is interesting you say that because the second to last uphill left to right that you hit outside, where I said, okay, let's just, for kicks, use the line now, right? And you put it down and you aimed that line where you thought it needed to be, and then what did you have to do? You had to adjust it. In that situation, you adjusted it further left, right? So there was some level of conflict standing over it. If I'm going to use the line, no, this doesn't agree,
Yes.
or I feel like it needs to be in order to launch this online. So typically it would be the opposite. You would have been further left, and then it needed to adjust it further right to account for the pull.
Yeah.
I think that's something to investigate moving forward. I don't think that we need to address that right now because we've got this.
Yeah, I do think this will help with the hesitation mentally with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's good. Thanks for the help, Cam.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video from Trinity Forest with my boy Cameron McCormick. Obviously that's Jordan Spieth's coach, longtime coach, has been with him as a kid. But yeah, today was very, I don't know, I wouldn't say like super eye-opening because I've had this said before about my stroke, but I just haven't been told in this fashion to just try to fix it through the shoulder flexion. I was feeling a lot of it in my setup. I totally understand what he's talking about with the swing path and the club face that kind of adjusts with it because I'm trying to make these compensations basically in my stroke. So I don't know, I think this is actually going to really help with my aiming as well in terms of just having conviction over where I'm aiming. I don't have to really have this hesitation in where I'm aiming, so I think that's going to help a lot with my confidence in where I'm starting to ball correctly. I think every time I've gone to Cameron McCormick, he's actually really hit the nail on the head, like just right on the money what I need to be doing. I've noticed that my stroke has not had a whole lot of arc on the backstroke, so yeah, I was definitely surprised that he wasn't really attacking it with the follow through on the stroke because I thought that was the problem, but he's actually going with the other way. And actually, you know, once I started doing that a little bit, it actually worked out exactly how we were thinking. So hopefully it helps my putting. Hopefully it helps you guys out there just kind of being like a fly on the wall, just coming along with the lesson. Hopefully it helps you guys with your own game. But as always, guys, if you guys have made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out when you guys do that. If you're not subscribed already and you're part of that 60% of my viewership that is not subscribed, I see all y'all. What are y'all doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.
Hey guys, if you're wanting my help to improve your golf, I put everything I know into my 2 programs here. In this one, I show you everything that you need to see in your swing in order to be a good ball striker, and if you don't see these things, I show you how to fix it. And in this one, I show you the course management knowledge that elite level players use to play good golf, and these are the things that I wish I knew a long time ago. If you want more information, check out the links in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support me and my journey, it'd be awesome to have you as one of my patrons, where you get access to a private group where I do live streams after my tournament rounds, have exclusive content for patrons only, and even do the occasional giveaway with signed putter head covers. Information about that is also in the description below.